자, 그러면 12월 12일 월요일 모닝 헤드라인스 조주연 뉴스캐스터와 함께 시작합니다.
"31 countries, including South Korea, the U.S., and Japan, have issued a joint statement criticizing North Korea as one of the worst violators of human rights, adding that it is time for the UN Security Council to address the issue publicly."
한국, 미국, 일본을 포함한 31개국이 북한을 최악의 인권 침해 국가 중 하나로 규탄하는 공동 성명을 발표하면서 이제는 유엔 안보리가 이 문제를 공개적으로 다룰 것을 촉구했습니다.
Chinese President Xi Jinping has told Gulf Arab leaders that China would work to buy oil and gas in yuan, a move that would support Beijing's goal to establish its currency internationally and weaken the U.S. dollar's grip on world trade.
시진핑 중국 국가주석이 걸프 지역에서 수입하는 석유와 가스에 대해 위안화 결제를 추진하겠다고 밝혔습니다. 이는 자국의 위안화를 국제통화로 만드는 한편 세계 무역시장에서 현재의 미국 달러화 패권을 약화시키려는 시도로 보입니다.
The U.S. has expressed alarm over a fully fledged defense partnership between Russia and Iran, adding that Washington also believes that Tehran is considering the sale of hundreds of ballistic missiles to Moscow.
미국 백악관은 이란 정부가 러시아를 대상으로 수백 발의 탄도미사일 판매를 검토 중인 걸로 보인다며 이와 같은 러시아와 이란 간의 전면적인 국방 파트너십에 큰 우려를 표했습니다.
Veteran musician Elton John has become the latest high-profile celebrity to leave Twitter since its acquisition by Elon Musk, citing misinformation as the reason.
일론 머스크가 트위터를 인수한 이후 다수 유명 인사들이 트위터를 떠난 가운데 영국의 팝스타 엘튼 존도 거짓 정보를 이유로 최근 트위터를 탈퇴했습니다.
Heavy-duty miners' trousers pulled from an 1857 shipwreck off the coast of North Carolina and described as the oldest known pair of jeans in the world have sold at auction for $114,000.
1857년 노스캐롤라이나주 해안에서 침몰한 난파선에 실렸던 광부 작업용 바지, 일명 세계에서 제일 오래된 청바지가 경매에서 11만 4천 달러, 우리 돈으로 약 1억 5천만 원에 낙찰됐습니다. And those are our headlines today. Morning Headline Expressions. All right, well, Jian, it's time to publicly talk about today's expressions.
Yes, we can do it publicly because we're free to do so.
Exactly. What's the first expression?
Publicly. It is time for the UN Security Council to address the issue publicly, meaning that they have to speak about the issue to the public, to the people.
그렇죠. 공개적으로 뭔가 한다라고 할 때 publicly. 그래서 public 그러면은 뭐 공공의 뭐 이런 의미가 되겠죠.
That's right.
What about the second expression? Grip.
Have a grip on something means that you have a strong hold on something. You have both of your hands on the world or on the economy or on a certain country. The U.S. Has a strong grip on the global economy because the international currency is the U.S. dollar. And in this case, we have a move that would weaken the U.S. dollar's grip on world trade because the U.S. dollar is used as the transaction currency.
Yeah, exactly. Another word for grip, I think, in this case could be leverage.
Leverage,
So
exactly.
China wants to weaken the US dollar's grip or leverage or power on world trade by making its currency more international.
That's right.
자, 다음입니다. To express alarm.
If you express alarm, you are actually showing surprise or discontent or showing that you feel a little bit of discomfort or anxiety in this case as well. So the U.S. has expressed alarm over a fully fledged defense partnership between Russia and Iran. Think about it. Having Russia team up with Iran of all nations,
Yeah, exactly.
especially over drones and missiles. Having Russia being teamed up with a country like Iran and having more forces being supporting Russia in its war
against Ukraine. Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. That is something to be alarmed about. You could say express concern, but I feel like expressing alarm is one level higher than that.
That's right. Even more than surprise.
Definitely. 우려를 표하는 것을 넘어서서 정말 이제 어떻게 보면은 뭐 놀라기도 하고 경각심을 이렇게 불러일으키는 상황을 가지고
That's right.
express alarm, express concern이라고 할 수 있습니다. 아주 많은 우려를 표하다라고 볼 수 있을 것 같고요. 자, 그 다음에는요. high profile.
Yes, high profile is when you grab a lot of attention from the public. When you are well known from the public in a good way, and you grab a lot of attention. Elton John has become the latest high-profile celebrity to leave Twitter. So if you're already well known for whatever you have done,
Yeah.
You are a high-profile either celebrity, singer,
MC.
MC.
That's 조주연 I'm talking about.
hope to be high-profile singer in this case as well.
high profile이라는 건 이제 잘 알려졌다, 유명하다의 의미로 볼 수 있어요.
Yes.
그래서 high profile은 세간의 이목을 끈다라는 의미도 있고, 엘튼 존처럼 정말 잘 알려진 profile이라는 것 자체가 어떤 그 사람의 이력이라는 뜻이 될 수 있어서 아니면은 뭐 얼굴이라는 뜻도 돼요.
Yes.
그러니까 high profile 그러면 누구나 알만한 유명한 이런 사람이죠. 반대로 아주 조용히 지낼 때는 keep a low profile이라고 합니다.
Yeah.
자, 마지막 expression, heavy duty.
Yes, heavy duty is when you have a certain fabric or cloth that can withstand a lot of tough work.
Yeah.
So heavy duty miner's trousers pulled from an 1857 shipwreck. Usually workers' clothes is called heavy duty workwear.
Exactly.
Yes.
작업복을 말할 때 이제 heavy duty workwear, heavy duty pants, heavy duty jacket, whatever, heavy duty라는 표현을 쓸 수가 있죠.
Yes.
그래서 그만큼 굉장히 튼튼하다라는 뜻이 있습니다. 뭐 어려운 일을 해도 잘 찢어지지 않을 정도로 뭐 이런 일 할 때 뭐 실크 옷 입고 가면 안 되겠죠. 그래서 그거는 heavy duty의 정반대가 될 것 같아요.
You'll be naked in 5 minutes. Yes.
그래서 heavy duty 여기서는 청바지를 말하고 있는데 그만큼 굉장히 튼튼한 재질을 말하고 있습니다.
Yes.
Alright, well that's it from today's headlines. 모닝 헤드라인 expressions는요, 오디오 어학당과 유튜브에서 무료로 다시 듣기 하실 수 있습니다. 자, 12월 13일 화요일 모닝 헤드라인스 뉴스캐스터 레이와 함께 시작합니다.
Goldman Sachs has predicted that Korea will no longer rank among the top 15 global economies by 2050 due to the nation's low birth rate and demographic aging, and will be overtaken by countries such as Indonesia and Nigeria.
저출산과 고령화의 영향으로 한국 경제가 2050년이 되면 세계 15위권 밖으로 밀려나고 인도네시아와 나이지리아 등이 한국을 추월할 것이라는 골드만삭스의 전망이 나왔습니다.
NASA's Next Generation Orion spacecraft has successfully splashed down in the Pacific Ocean after a record-breaking mission, traveling around the moon and returning safely to Earth, completing the first Artemis flight test.
미국 항공우주국 나사의 무인 우주선인 오리온이 달 궤도 비행을 마치고 지구로 귀환했습니다. 이로써 아르테미스 임무의 첫 번째 단계를 완료했습니다.
Belgian prosecutors investigating allegations of bribery at the European Parliament by Qatar have charged 4 people with money laundering, corruption, and participating in a criminal organization.
네, 벨기에 연방검찰청이 카타르가 유럽의회를 상대로 로비를 벌였다는 의혹과 관련한 수사를 진행하고 있는 가운데 돈 세탁, 부패, 범죄 단체 가담 등의 혐의로 유럽의회 부의장 등 4명을 기소했습니다.
A 6.0 magnitude earthquake shook southwestern Mexico on Sunday, causing tremors through parts of the capital city and prompting residents to come out onto the street.
지난 일요일 멕시코 남서부 지역에서 6.0 규모의 지진이 발생해 멕시코 수도 지역까지 진동이 감지되었고 주민들이 건물 밖으로 대피했습니다.
Iran's currency dropped to a record low against the US dollar on Sunday, with the rial trading at around 370,000 to the dollar amid nationwide anti-government protests now in their third month.
이란에서 석 달 가까이 반정부 시위가 이어지고 있는 가운데 이란의 통화 가치가 지난 일요일 사상 최저치인 미국 1달러당 약 37만 리알을 기록했습니다. And those are our headlines.
Morning headline expressions.
Let's have a look at today's expressions from the headlines. To overtake.
To overtake simply means to pass somebody. Usually, it's used in traffic on the road. If there's a car in front of you and you think the car is going too slow, then you go into the lane and you overtake. You pass that car. You can also use this too in races. So
Yeah.
in car races, F1 races, they'll say this a lot. Or even in running races.
추월하다라는 뜻이에요. 그래서 이제 골드만삭스가 여러 가지 전망치를 내놨는데 이대로 간다면 이제 2050년에는 Indonesia, Nigeria will overtake South Korea 이렇게 얘기를 했습니다. 물론 이건 예상이고요. 지금 그대로 가지 않는다면 또 다른 결과가 나올 수 있겠죠. To overtake, 추월하다. What about spacecraft? Of course, we looked at that.
Spacecraft,
Yeah.
a big vehicle that travels through space, right? Where as an aircraft is an airplane. It's just traveling
Right.
through the air, not through space.
그러네요. Aircraft, spacecraft. These are all big machines that, technically humans can ride.
Yeah, we use them for traveling.
There you go. Spacecraft, 우주선이죠? And then allegation.
Yeah, allegation's an interesting word. So it's when somebody is claiming that someone else has done something wrong or done something illegal, but it hasn't been proven yet. So until it's proven, it's an allegation.
It's an allegation, something that has not been proven yet.
Right, you've alleged that someone has done something.
Exactly. 어떤 혐의가 제기됐을 때 it's an allegation이라고 얘기할 수 있습니다. Now, if something prompts you to do something,
It causes you to do it.
Yeah.
It's the reason why you do that thing. Right? So maybe it's raining outside and that
Yeah.
prompts you to go and buy an umbrella.
exactly. 갑자기 비가 오면은 어떡하지? I think I'll go and buy an umbrella. 이렇게 될 수 있잖아요. 그러니까 무언가를 하게끔 만드는 겁니다. 촉발하다라는 사전적인 의미가 있고요. Over in Mexico, there was an earthquake that prompted people to come out onto the streets.
Yeah, exactly. They wouldn't have come out onto the streets had
Otherwise.
they not felt that tremor.
Exactly. And the next expression is nationwide.
Nationwide means something is happening all over a country. So we were talking about nationwide protests in Iran. We saw nationwide protests in China as well. They were happening everywhere, not just in one place.
Yep, there you go. Nationwide is for a country. You could say worldwide
Sure.
for the earth.
Yeah, the World Wide Web.
Yeah, there you go. 그러네요. WWW.
That's why it's there.
World Wide Web의 약자죠. 그래서 worldwide 그러면 세계적인.
Citywide,
Yeah.
townwide.
There you go. nationwide는 전국적인 이란 뜻입니다. 자, 이렇게 오늘 헤드라인에 나왔던 표현들 리뷰해봤고요. 모닝 헤드라인 익스프레션스는 오디오 어학당과 유튜브에서 무료로 다시 듣기 하실 수 있습니다. 자, 그러면 12월 14일 수요일 모닝 헤드라인스 뉴스캐스터 레이와 함께 시작합니다.
Starting next year, parents with babies under 12 months old will be eligible for a monthly government allowance of 700,000 won, and households with a 1-year-old child will receive 350,000 won a month.
내년부터 부모 급여가 신설돼 만 0세 아동을 키우는 가정은 월 70만 원, 만 1세 아동을 키우는 가정은 월 35만 원을 지급받게 됩니다.
Korea is widely expected to register its largest ever yearly trade deficit this year, with think tanks forecasting the nation to post its first full year in the red since 2008.
우리나라 올해 무역 수지가 2008년 이후 첫 연간 적자를 기록할 것으로 보이는 가운데 그 규모가 역대 최대에 달할 것이라는 전망이 나왔습니다.
Armed men opened fire on Monday at a Kabul hotel popular with Chinese nationals, with the attack ending after 3 of the assailants were killed by Afghanistan's security forces.
중국인들이 주로 머무는 아프가니스탄 수도 카불의 한 호텔에서 무장 괴한들의 총격전이 발생했습니다. 진압 과정에서 괴한 3명이 사살됐다고 외신은 전했습니다.
Indian and Chinese troops have clashed on their disputed Himalayan border, the first such flare-up between the two Asian powers since fatal frontier confrontations in 2020.
인도와 중국의 군인들이 2020년 대규모 충돌 이후 가장 큰 규모로 분쟁 지역인 히말라야 국경에서 또다시 난투극을 벌였습니다.
Tesla CEO Elon Musk is no longer the richest person in the world, according to Forbes, as he has ceded that title to Bernard Arnault, CEO of luxury brand Louis Vuitton's parent company, LVMH.
일론 마스크 테슬라 최고 경영자가 명품 브랜드 루이비통의 모회사인 LVMH의 베르나르 아르노 회장에게 세계 최고 부호 자리를 내주었다고 포브스가 전했습니다. And those are today's headlines.
Morning headline expressions.
오늘의 headlines에서 이런 표현들 봤었죠. An allowance. What's an allowance?
Allowance, when you're given money. So when you're a kid, you get an allowance. You're a kid, you don't have a job, so parents give you a weekly allowance. Is usually what it was like when I was a kid. And you'd get money you could spend on candy or whatever it was you wanted.
그땐 용돈이죠.
Yeah, it's money you get for not working, basically, right? You don't have to work for it. So in this case, we're talking about a monthly government allowance,
Sure.
money that's given to people with babies to help them pay for childcare.
네, 그동안에 이제 양육수당이 있었어요. 근데 내년부터는 부모 급여라는 것이 신설이 돼서 월 70만 원, 이제 아기가 만 1살 되기 전까지, 만 0세일 때는 그렇게 allowance를 받게 됩니다. 수당이라는 의미가 되겠어요. The next expression was think tank.
Think tank. A think tank's an institute or an organization
Yeah.
that researches particular topics.
Yeah.
And these are usually, or certain issues. So this would usually be political or social or economic issues. They research it. They create resources. They also sometimes will give advice or give ideas, thoughts on the issues, how maybe the issue could be solved.
Definitely. When I hear think tank, I think of experts, researchers, like you said, in either economics or politics. So, of course, in this case, we're looking at a forecast for next year in terms
Yeah,
of
it would
the
be
economy.
economists, yeah.
Economists here. 저 싱크탱크, 연구원들, 전문가들이라는 의미가 될 수 있습니다. The next term was assailant.
Ooh, an assailant is an attacker.
Yeah.
Somebody who attacks another person.
assailant. 그러면 공격하는 사람, 괴한, 아니면 폭행범이라는 의미로 이해할 수 있는데요. 여기서는 무장괴한이라는 의미였죠. 이 뉴스에서는. 그렇지만 원래는 attacker, 공격을 가한 그런 사람이라는 의미가 있습니다. The next term is flare up.
Yeah, we were talking earlier. It's not usually any good connotation to flare up. So the big ones would be an illness.
Yeah.
So someone has an illness and it flares up. It suddenly gets worse again.
And does that happen with arthritis? You mentioned that earlier
Yeah,
on.
I believe so.
Oh.
I believe that'd be one of the ones that I remember. Like my grandpa had it, and sometimes it would get worse. Right, it would flare up on him.
arthritis는 관절염인데요. 관절염이 가끔은 정말 너무 심해진다. 그런 의미로 oh my arthritis is flaring up again.
Yeah, it's gotten worse again. Feeling more pain from it.
그렇게
Or
표현하는군요.
violence. So in the case we were
Yeah.
talking about along this disputed border between India and China, sometimes things are calm, but every so often, it seems like the last little bit once a year now, the last couple of years, all of a sudden there's a outburst of violence, there's
Yeah.
some fighting.
fighting, violence, emotions, 뭐 분노라든지 아니면은 폭력이라든지 뭔가 이렇게 확 커질 때 이걸 명사로 a flare-up라고 표현을 할 수 있습니다. 실제로 이번에 수백 명 정도의 군인이 서로 충돌했다라고 Times of India가 전하고 있습니다. There was a massive flare-up on the border between India and China.
Where apparently hundreds of troops involved this time.
Yeah. Okay, and when you cede something.
Cede something. You give it to somebody else, but it's more like you surrender it.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily want to, so usually land in a dispute between two countries or two groups. They might cede land. Okay, fine, you can have it. Or power, right? So maybe within a political party or in a company.
Yeah, if you're ousted, for example, you know, you used to be the head of a country, but you've now been pulled out of your seat, then you'd have to cede power to the next person in line.
It's kind of the idea you didn't want to, you had to.
Well, Elon
You're
Musk.
forced to.
Yeah, Elon Musk was the richest man in the world, but he's had to, give up that seat to Arnaud.
He's lost that title, hasn't he?
He has, yeah.
But I'm sure he's still okay with his $176 billion.
Still the second richest man in the
Yeah,
world.
right. He's still swimming in cash like Scrooge McDuck.
자, seed, C-E-D-E 이렇게 쓰고요. 발음은 씨앗, S-E-E-D랑 발음은 같아요. 그렇지만 스펠링이 전혀 다르고 의미도 마지못해 무언가를 이렇게 내줄 때 seed 한다라고 얘기를 합니다. Elon Musk has seeded that richest man in the world title to Bernard Arnault, who heads the company that owns luxury brands including Louis Vuitton.
Whole bunch of them, actually,
Many,
right?
Many, yes. And Celine and
Hennessy
and Moet and many. There you go.
Bulgari. Yeah, I looked him up like, wow, no wonder this guy's so
the
rich.
richest man in the world. 자, 이렇게 해서 오늘 헤드라인에 나온 표현들 리뷰해봤습니다. 모닝 헤드라인 익스프레션스는 오디오 어학당과 유튜브에서 무료로 다시 듣기 하실 수 있습니다. 자, 그러면 12월 15일 목요일 모닝 헤드라인스 뉴스캐스터 레이와 함께 시작합니다.
Korea's new COVID-19 cases stayed above 80,000 for the second straight day Wednesday, amid lingering concerns of another strain of the virus known as BN1.
오미크론 계열 BN1 변이 바이러스 검출률이 늘어나 우려가 계속되는 가운데 어제 국내 코로나19 신규 확진자가 이틀 연속으로 8만 명 이상을 기록했습니다.
Over 3,000 people living in solitude were found dead last year, according to Korea's health ministry, in its first investigation into goroksa, or lonely deaths.
보건복지부가 처음으로 실시한 고독사 실태조사에 따르면 혼자 살다 사망한 뒤 늦게 발견되는 고독사 사례가 지난해에만 3,000건이 넘는 것으로 알려졌습니다.
New Zealanders born on or after January 1st, 2009 have been banned from purchasing tobacco for life as part of new anti-smoking laws that have passed the nation's parliament.
뉴질랜드는 새로운 금연법의 일환으로 2009년 1월 1일 이후 출생자는 앞으로 평생 담배를 살 수 없도록 금지하는 법을 제정했습니다.
The Cambridge Dictionary has updated its definition of woman to include any adult who lives and identifies as female regardless of their sex at birth.
케임브리지 영어 사전은 성인 여자를 뜻하는 woman의 정의에 생물학적 성별과 상관없이 스스로를 여성으로 인식하는 성인이라는 설명을 새롭게 추가했습니다.
Defending champion France has advanced to the final round of the 2022 FIFA World Cup in Qatar after defeating underdog Morocco 2-0.
지난해 월드컵 우승국인 프랑스가 상대적으로 약체인 모로코를 2대 0으로 꺾고 2022 카타르 월드컵 결승에 진출했습니다.
Morning Headline Expressions.
Let's have a look at our key expressions from the headlines. The first one is lingering concerns.
So if something lingers, it lasts for a long time. It continues to exist.
So usually an illness or maybe an injury, for example, can linger. Here, it concerns. So when you're concerned about something, you're worried about it. So this means people have been worried about this new strain of Omicron for a long time, and they're still worried about it.
Exactly. Linger. 뭔가 여운이 남는 것처럼 뭔가 남아있다. So lingering concerns in this case. But you could talk about lingering taste, lingering smell, lingering scent, whatever it is. Or a lingering thought even.
Yeah.
You know, like,
You've had it for a while.
Exactly.
Just won't go away.
Yeah. You remember last time, Ray, you told me that you love ice cream in the middle of winter? Well, that thought has been lingering in my mind, and now maybe I should buy some ice cream. As an example.
Right.
So lingering, 뭔가 계속 남아있는 겁니다. And an investigation into, that's what you say, right?
Right. Or you investigate something. Yeah, you launch an investigation into usually a crime, for example,
Right.
or maybe an issue, a social problem. So it just means you're gathering information about it. You're examining it, you're studying it.
Exactly. 자, an investigation into something, 무엇에 대한 조사. 이걸 동사로 바꾸면은 그냥 investigate something이라고 할 수 있고요. The next expression is purchase.
To purchase something, if you use it as a verb, it just means simply to buy something.
Yep. A phrase that you might hear in some of the business news stories we look at is purchasing power. That's an economics term.
Yeah, how much money or how many products can you buy with
Yeah.
your money? How far does your money go?
But you never say, no, actually, you could say buying power, but the purchasing power is the more formal term, I
Yeah,
think.
it's just a term that's used,
그렇죠.
right? The difference would be is that it's easier to use. You can use purchase as a noun and say I made a purchase, where you wouldn't say I made a buy.
Exactly.
You can say something was a good buy, but that just means you got a good deal on it.
그래요. 그래서 이 purchase, 구매력 얘기할 때도요. purchasing power, purchase를 쓰기도 합니다. Purchase and buy, they mean the same thing, but one is a little bit more formal and the other is more casual. Now, if something is done or, if something has happened at birth.
Yeah, it happens when a baby is born.
Yep, exactly. 태어났을 때 뭐뭐뭐라는 뜻으로 at birth라고 얘기할 수 있습니다. And the final expression was underdog.
An underdog. So in any type of contest, any sporting match, whichever team or whichever competitor
Sure.
is considered less likely to win. They are the underdog, and then
Exactly.
the other side would be the favorite. They're considered the stronger team or the stronger competitor. So it's talking about the odds.
Yeah.
The likelihood is that team will win, so they're the favorite.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
underdogs win, though.
Yeah, they
Right?
do, of
Everyone loves
course.
a good underdog story.
The dictionary definition for underdog, or at least the synonym and the antonym for it, as it's written down in some dictionaries, is that underdog is the opposite of top dog. However, I think in sports, you don't hear the term top dog much. You just hear favorite, as you said.
Yeah, to me, the top dog is just the best team, right? So it's not necessarily the opposite of top dog, because you could have two teams. So you could have a team that's say you have a league of 30 teams, right? If the 10th best team plays the 15th best team, well, then the 15th best team is the underdog, and the 10th best team would likely be the favorite.
I see. 자, 그래요. 그래서 두 팀 중에서 우승의 가능성이 좀 덜한 그 팀을 underdog라고 얘기를 합니다.
Was that in the English dictionary? Said that was synonyms?
I forget now.
Oh, okay.
I'll have to look it up. All right. Well, those were our morning headline expressions. 자, 오디오와 학당과 유튜브에서 무료로 다시 듣기 하실 수 있습니다. 자, 12월 16일 금요일 모닝 헤드라인스 뉴스캐스터 폴 매튜스와 함께 시작합니다.
Finance Minister Chu Kyung-ho has remarked that the US Central Bank's latest interest rate hike was in line with market expectations, but uncertainty still remains over high inflation and an economic downturn.
추경호 기획재정부 장관은 미국 연준의 이번 기준금리 인상폭이 시장 예상과 일치한다면서도 높은 물가 상승률과 경기 침체에 따른 불확실성이 여전히 남아있다고 언급했습니다.
The European Union has promised to invest 10 billion euros by 2027 to accelerate infrastructure investments in the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, or ASEAN.
네, 유럽연합은 아세안으로 불리는 동남아시아 국가연합의 인프라 건설을 촉진하기 위해 오는 2027년까지 100억 유로, 우리 돈으로 약 13조 8천억 원을 투자하겠다고 공언했습니다.
China's retail sales fell by 5.9% in November from a year ago, according to the National Bureau of Statistics, worse than expectations for a decline of 3.7%.
중국의 11월 소매 판매가 작년 같은 달 대비 5.9% 감소했다고 중국 국가통계국이 밝혔습니다. 이는 3.7% 감소를 예상한 시장 전망치보다 더 나빠진 것입니다.
A report published by the World Health Organization and UN Water finds that only 25% of countries around the world will meet drinking water sanitation targets by the end of the decade.
세계보건기구와 UN 워터는 최근 내놓은 보고서를 통해 오는 2030년 기준으로 식수 위생이 국제 기준을 달성할 나라가 전 세계 25% 수준에 그칠 것으로 전망했습니다.
Director Park Chan-wook's film The Decision to Leave has been nominated for Best Foreign Film for this year's Critics' Choice Movie Awards, while Extraordinary Attorney Woo and Pachinko are competing in the Foreign Language Series category.
제28회 미국 크리틱스 초이스 영화상에서 박찬욱 감독의 영화 헤어질 결심이 최우수 외국어 영화 부문 후보에 올랐습니다. 한편 최우수 외국어 드라마 후보에는 이상한 변호사 우영우와 파친코가 올랐습니다. And those are today's morning headlines.
Morning headline expressions.
From the headlines today, we looked at the word remark.
Yes, I will remark upon the term remark. I
Okay,
think it's a
please
very
do.
good word.
It's a good word to remark on. A word to remark on.
One might say it's remarkable. Meaning to remark on something is to make a comment on it, to give your opinion on it, to say what you think about it. A little bit different than just saying something.
Yeah.
You're commenting on something.
뭔가에 대해서 언급을 하다, 평을 하다라고 할 때 remark on something이라고 할 수 있는데요. remarkable 그러면은 very good, outstanding, superb 이런 느낌이죠.
Yeah, because it's something you can make a remark about. You're able to make a remark about it. Remarkable.
Well, that explanation was remarkable.
Thank you very much.
remark라는 표현 이제 첫 번째 헤드라인에서 봤습니다. 언급하다라는 의미로 여기서는 쓰였고요. The second term was accelerate.
Vroom, vroom, vroom. We're going faster and faster. If we accelerate, we speed something up. We accelerate something, we're going to make it faster. In this case, it's the infrastructure investments made by the EU to the ASEAN countries.
그래요. 가속화하다라는 의미로 accelerate라고 합니다. 그래서 그 악셀 페달, 우리 자동차에 있는 그것이 사실 이제 accelerator pedal이라고 부를 수도 있고 gas pedal이라고도 합니다. 미국에서는 gas is petrol,
네.
but you know, it's called the gas pedal as well. 그래서 그렇게 부르기도 해요. 근데 결국 이제 이게 속도를 내기 위한 페달이라는 거 잘 알고 계실 거고요. 물론 the other one is the brake pedal.
Yeah, and we
it's
can
the opposite.
and we can also use the expression to put the brakes on something.
Yeah.
Meaning to slow it down or even stop it for a bit.
That's right. 자, accelerate가 두 번째 헤드라인에 나왔었죠. accelerate investments. 투자를 더 많이 하겠다라는 의미로 썼고요. expectations가 세 번째 헤드라인에 있었습니다.
Are you looking forward to my explanation? You're not expecting it.
I wasn't expecting that explanation.
No, so expectation is what we think is going to happen, our prediction, our thoughts for the future. And as Sue mentioned earlier, be careful. If you're looking forward to something, you're not necessarily expecting it.
Yeah.
You don't say, I expect this. You say, I'm looking forward to this.
예상의 의미가 굉장히 커요. 그렇기 때문에 이러한 것을 예상합니다. We expect it to snow today. 뭐 예를 들자면 we expect the temperature to be 30 degrees outside.
Well, we don't expect that today.
We don't. It's an example.
Yes.
그런 식으로 이제 예상한다라는 의미로 expect를 많이 쓰고요. 명사 형태일 때는 물론 기대의 의미가 있을 수 있지만 we have a lot of expectations for something 이렇게
Yes.
말할 수도 있어요. 그렇지만 한국말처럼 이거 기대돼요 할 때 동사로 쓰시는 건 아닙니다. You cannot just say I expect or I am expecting unless you are having a baby.
Yes.
It's very different. 자, 다음 표현입니다. The end of the decade.
Yes, the end of the decade in this case means 2029, December 31st. It's the end of the month, the end of the year, rather, excuse me. So 2030 is the start of the new decade, and 2029 is the end of this decade.
So decade is 10 years, and if we talk about the end of the decade, you have to look at currently what year it is, and then the end of that 10-year period.
Yes, I'm in my 5th decade.
Ah.
I'm 44 years old, so I've been around during 5 decades.
아, 그러네요.
Yeah, you're in your 5th decade too, aren't you?
I'm over 40.
Yes.
I didn't realize I was in my 5th decade, though.
That's not a bad thing, Sue. It's not a bad thing.
그렇군요. 자, decade, 10년이라는 뜻이 있다는 거 잘 아시죠? 자, 마지막으로 nominate.
To put something up for an award or a position, I nominate Sue for Broadcaster of the Year.
No, what? Thank you.
I'm not sure for what award, but I'm going to nominate you nonetheless.
This is also just an example. Nominate 라는 것은 지명하다의 의미가 있는데요. 영화상에 nominate가 됐다라고 했을 때는 후보에 올랐다라는 의미죠. 이제 나중에 수상을 하게 되면은 무슨 작품 has won the prize 이렇게 표현을 하겠지만 이제 지금은 아직 후보에만 오른 작품들이 발표가 됐기 때문에 this and this or these movies have been nominated.
Yes.
These TV series have been nominated.
They are the nominees.
They are indeed. 그래서 nominate까지 살펴봤습니다. 자, 이렇게 오늘 헤드라인에서 나온 표현들 리뷰해봤고요. 모닝 헤드라인 익스프레션스는 오디오 어학당과 유튜브에서 무료로 다시 듣기 하실 수 있습니다.